Defender was released in 2009. This is directed by Peter Stebbings, written by Stebbings, with a cast including Woody Harrelson, Kat Dennings, Sandra Oh, Elias Koteas, and various others. I didn't enjoy it, but I will say it has 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb across 38,000 reviews and ratings. So in general, it seems to be well received. So my point there, I guess, is I will explain what I feel. I won't give any spoilers, but basically ignore what I'm saying and check it out for yourself if you're curious, because it seems to be well received. I just didn't really get along with it. It also has a meta score of 57, which for me I think is a bit more reasonable. I only watched this because Woody Harrelson's in it. Would I have watched it if I randomly discovered it otherwise? Maybe. I might have checked it out. It's not completely my kind of film, so that's also worth bearing in mind. But there are many films that I watch thinking I'm probably not going to like them, and I end up loving them. Unfortunately, that's not the case here. I just found it to be tremendously boring. It's about a character called Arthur Poppington, which I have to say, I love the name. And I don't want to say pretends to be a superhero. That sounds disrespectful. He puts on this superhero persona called the Defender, which, great name, quite like that. And he's going after this individual called Captain Industry because of something he blames him for. I won't go into too much detail. It's not really a spoiler, but just in case you don't want to know too much information, I won't expand on that. But I think his motivations are good. I do think the Defender, in general, makes sense. I feel like there is a strong reason for this character to exist, and I think seeing this other side of Arthur Poppington is quite interesting. So there are some positives, but I found the narrative itself to be tremendously dull. What I did like is that he's actually talking with his psychiatrist at certain points throughout the film and explaining his behaviours. Those scenes I thought were okay. I certainly didn't mind those scenes. I quite liked Sandra Oh as Dr. Park, the psychiatrist. So it's not that I hated it, and there were some moments that did appeal to me, but in general, I just found the narrative to be not that interesting, mostly down to personal tastes, but I also just found it to be quite boring in general, by which I mean I can identify a few key points where I think, yeah, that might really appeal to somebody, but for the most part, I'm not really able to point out a lot of aspects that I think would generally appeal. But that being said, it has 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a pretty respectable rating, so if you want to watch it, I'd say just do it and ignore everything I'm saying. I think mostly it's personal preference. Also, I didn't really love the character of Arthur or the Defender. As I said, I feel like the motivations are clear. I think in general it's a well-written character. I just didn't necessarily connect emotionally with the character, despite my love of Woody Harrelson. So for me, there were just not enough elements that made this an interesting film. The technical aspects are fine, the camera work's fine, the lighting's fine. I made no notes about the music, which means that it's not annoying, and that's always a bonus. So I'd say for me, it was an okay film. It was a watchable film. Maybe there is an audience for it. It certainly seems like that's the case. So if you want to check it out, I'd very much encourage you to do that, because it seems like there's a good chance you'll like it more than I did. Defender just didn't work very well for me. There were a few things here and there that I thought were okay, but there were not enough elements that spoke to me, and ultimately I came away from it not feeling like I'd wasted time. I still got about an hour and 40 minutes or so of Woody Harrelson, which is going to keep me satisfied, so that was not bad. But the rest of it, for me, it was average. You might enjoy it more than I did. Check it out if you're curious. I didn't mind it as a one-time watch, I suppose, but I definitely wouldn't watch it again.